Okay, me again. Right, today we're going to see if we can find the pin code for this edc16U31. And the reason we need the pin code is when we plug it into the vehicle's going to ask for its pin code so it can match the immobilizer data using the instrument cluster. So what we've got is just our little test bench here with the IM508 plugged in. And I'm going to be testing it, checking it with the VCDS. So if I click Volkswagen, okay, I want to go expert selection, and I'll also explain the system, right? So we're going to go engine, we're going to do it by OBD, which means it can be done in the vehicle. Now, say for example, okay, we know it's an EDC because we can see it, right? But say you didn't know, because this ECU is going to be buried under the wipers, under the windscreen. So you need to find out exactly which one's installed. So if I clicked auto detect, it will detect that ECU and it will tell me which one it is. Okay, so you go expert mode, auto detect. If you don't get an auto detect, if it won't find it, then you've got a problem. So what it's doing now is looking at the ECU, so we can see that it's, pardon me, it's using the K line and the CAN to detect this ECU. Ooh, doesn't take long, there we go, EDC16U31. So we go OK. Now then, this here, this is confusing if you've never come across this before. Read immobilizer data, fair enough, reads the data. Enter means turns the immobilizer on. Exit means turn the immobilizer off. So if you're doing a key and the vehicle's a non-start, so it'll start, run for a second and then stop, and it won't accept any keys. So say for example it's an instrument cluster fault and you want to get the customer home, you would go into this system, okay, the immobilizer's on. So you would press exit immobilizer and it will remove that immobilizer for you so you can start the car and drive it home. Then when the cluster is repaired, you can then go back into it, go enter immobilizer system and turn it back on if you wish. Okay, now 9 times out of 10 using these systems, if you turn the immobilizer off this way, you will get a signal on the dashboard. The key will keep flashing to say that the immobilizer is still active, but the car will run. Okay, so that's it. So what we want to do is we're going to read immobilizer data, because all we want is the pin code, and then we can match this ECU into the vehicle. The cluster will ask for this information and then it will match, it will download all its info, immobilizer info, into the ECU. So let's see how long this takes. Normally on these older ones, EDC16s, 15, 16s, couple of minutes, that's all. The 17s can take 10-15 minutes easily this way to try and read the info. There we go. So the pin code is 08252, so remember that, 08252. So we're going to go OK, exit. Okay, now I'm going to go to my unit here. I'm going to unplug this. I'm going to plug in VCDS. Into here. I'm going to go engine. Might have to take the power off and put it back on. Pardon me, if it doesn't respond, which it's not going to, see, like that, we just have to shut the power off, put the power back on again. So no response from controller. If I just take the power off the ECU, put the power back on, try it again. That's quite normal. Engine. sure the power is actually on. Oh, what's it doing? There's always something in it, always when you film it. Let's make sure we've got everything plugged in. VCDS is plugged in, it's trying to communicate. Unplug it, plug it back in. We will go back out of VCDS, go back out. Okay, then we'll go back into it again, and it should read. There we go. See how fast that was, pretty quick. If it doesn't read immediately, then you know that's that. Right, so security access is going to ask for the pin code. So what you've got, well, you have to put this in. It says prior to adapting a new used engine control unit, the vehicle specific pin of the new used engine control unit has to be used to enable the adaptation. Okay, so this is why you need the pin code, right? This is why you need the pin code. So the pin code is 08252. 08252. So if I put in 08252, 08252, and I go do it. Security access accepted. Okay, so now you see this ECU could now be adapted into any vehicle, any VW Golf with the same part number, and the immobilizer information would be downloaded into it, and the car would start and run. But it will start and run anyway because Mark has removed the immobilizer. There we go. Okay, but what this does, by adapting it, the immobilizer disabled, by adapting it, it will remove the flashing key symbol on the dashboard. Okay, thank you for watching.